Viktor Orban, el presidente de Hungría, asegura en una entrevista de nuestros compañeros de Bloomberg Televisión que Hungría no apoya el envío de 500 millones de ayuda a Ucrania, que bloquea esa ayuda porque, entre otras muchas cosas, Ucrania no puede ganar la guerra y no va a seguir, dice, alimentando el conflicto. Le escuchamos.
Foreign Minister said you would block the aid that the European Union wants to give to Ukraine at this particular time. And I wonder how you, a country that is, you have been invaded by Russia, you know what that is like, why you do that.
First of all, thank you very much for the possibility to have that conversation. One small additional remark. 17 years in power and 16 years in opposition. That's equally important. Anyway, on the war issue, you should know that Hungary has a very unique situation in this whole war because Ukraine is not a country far away. Ukraine is our neighbor. Second, we have minorities, ethnic minorities living in Ukraine, 200,000 something. Yes. And they are part of the war. They are conscripted as soldiers to the Ukrainian army, and they die. So we lose lives daily, Hungarian lives as well. So therefore, we consider this whole situation from a special angle. So we do not belong to the mainstream European approach. And my position was, or the position of Hungary was, the very first moment, that this war is the failure of diplomacy. It should have never happened, that war, outbreak. So looking what's going on the front line, for us it's obvious that the battlefield solution does not work. So whoever right and whoever not, you rightly describe the situation that Russia invaded Ukraine. But the question is not who invaded whom, the question is what will be the next morning. The next morning, the fact is that more and more people will die, and there is no chance to have a victory on neither side. So this is a war which just deprives many persons from lives without having result.
But surely you can't, we can all agree that the diplomacy before Ukraine was not successful. But there is a very big difference between the failure on that and the mere fact of invasion. And what intrigues me is you, as someone, it was one of the great reasons you came into politics. You made a great deal about 1956
yeah.
And fighting for freedom. You have a neighbor who is invaded by Russia, the very country, you grew up with pictures of tanks going into Budapest. Why are you opposing the European aid?
No, it's emotionally. It's tragic. So all of our heart is with the Ukrainians. We understand how much they suffer, but I'm speaking here as a politician who should save lives. So the most important thing for the international political community is to save lives, especially when you are convinced, as I do, that there is no chance to win this war. So therefore, what we should do far more energy invest into to convince everybody that the only solution is ceasefire. And then after the ceasefire, peace talks should start. And then we could back to your point, yeah?
But do you really think there is no chance of Ukraine winning?
That's my
point. They stand very little chance of winning without the aid which you are currently blocking.
No, my position is that looking at the reality, looking at the figures, looking at the surroundings, looking at the fact that NATO is not ready to send troops, it's obvious that there is no victory for poor Ukrainians on the battlefield. That's my position. That was always my suggestion to everybody, that instead of to manage to have a stronger involvement into the war, escalation should be stopped, and we should argue in favor of peace and negotiation.
Orbán no apoya ese envío de 500 millones de euros de ayuda a Ucrania porque no quiere seguir alimentando el conflicto, como le estábamos escuchando, no quiere seguir alimentando ese fuego, y lo que pide precisamente es que cese el fuego. Dice que su responsabilidad como político, en su punto de vista, es salvar vidas, y cuanto más ayuda se está enviando, no para frenar el conflicto, sino para incentivar ese enfrentamiento. Dice Orban, lo que se consigue en realidad no solo no es salvar vidas, sino que se sigue alimentando ese conflicto entre Rusia y Ucrania. ¿Qué dice Orban? Que hay que frenar, hay que hacer ese alto al fuego, ese cese a las hostilidades, como le escuchábamos, y desde ese prisma él dice que enfoca su energía en buscar, a partir de ese cese de las hostilidades, de ese alto al fuego, buscar después la paz, ese proceso de paz. No puede ganar la guerra Ucrania, dice Orban, porque, entre otras muchas cosas, no se está dando los escenarios en los que incluso la OTAN envíe tropas. Y no ve un escenario en el que todo eso termine ocurriendo y Ucrania pueda ganar la guerra. Por eso dice que hay que detener el conflicto. No está de acuerdo con él Jens Stoltenberg, el secretario general de la OTAN, en su visita en el día de hoy a Bruselas, ha respondido precisamente a Orban y lo que ha dicho es que sí cree que la liberación de cierta parte del territorio por parte de los ucranianos tras las ayudas enviadas, lo que pone de manifiesto es que las ayudas de la OTAN están funcionando y que eso va a llevar a que sigan conquistando ese terreno y a que poco a poco alcancen, dice, la liberación de todos los territorios en Ucrania. Eso ha dicho Stoltenberg desde la OTAN, que también ha asegurado que lo que tiene claro es que quien no va a ganar la guerra es Vladimir Putin.